A single-shot vaccine, and enough for the world, would put an end to this pandemic. But that's not the reality. Most require 2 jabs. Some have to be stored in a deep freeze, and many still await approval. Plus, not all of them are as effective. China is supplying developing countries with vaccines that don't work as well. And the global rollout of COVID shots is slow. Less than 2% of the world population has received just 1 dose of a vaccine so far.
Serbia is showing the way in Europe. The Prime Minister was the first European leader to get the Pfizer Biotech vaccine. Her Internal Affairs Minister got the Russian jab, and the Health Minister posed for one of China's shots. The message: vaccination shouldn't be about geopolitics, it's about our health. But it's not always that simple.
Even during the pandemic, customers still come in for their coffee. Bojan Djordjevic has run this cafe in Belgrade for 3 years. A topic often discussed by patrons is which vaccine is the best. US company Pfizer and Russia have so far only delivered a few thousand doses. China has already sent 1 million. Would I choose to get the Chinese vaccine? Chinese people have been getting it. They wouldn't be harming their own people. Maybe I'll take Pfizer's vaccine. They are an economically strong company. It's a bit of a dilemma for me. Serbia's government has promised to buy various vaccines from providers all over the world. It's then up to citizens to decide which one they want to get. I'll get the Chinese or Russian vaccine, not the Pfizer one. If I had to choose, I'd take the Russian one. The Russian one. I like Russia. I have Russian friends. I trust them. Who to trust? There's a lack of detailed information about the various vaccines. That's why many Serbian doctors are hesitant with their advice. I get at least 10 calls a day. People asking whether they should get vaccinated, and if so, using which vaccine. We only have information on the Pfizer vaccine. I just don't know enough about the other ones. No one seems sure, but plenty of people are driven by their fear of getting sick. Older citizens can receive the vaccine at a total of 200 special sites, like at this exhibition center in Belgrade.
Serbia purchased 8 million vaccines from Western suppliers, from Russia and China, but only China can deliver millions of doses of COVID-19 vaccines in a short period of time. So China's reputation on the Balkan is on the rise.
In the meantime, Bojan Djordjevic has made his decision. Many of my customers who come here know more than I do about vaccines. So now I have decided to get the Chinese one. Like many Serbians, they take the pragmatic view that the best vaccine is the most available one. And here, China seems to have won the race.
Well, I thought it was a race against the coronavirus. Isn't that what we should be focusing on? Well, Dragan Jankovic, WHO's technical officer for the Vaccine Preventable Diseases and Immunization Program in Europe. Why aren't we, the world, winning this race?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for this question. We do believe that we are winning the race. You have the vaccine invented in the period less than 12 years, 12 months, that never happened before. So January last year, there was a genotype of COVID-19 SARS virus available to the scientific community. And in November, December, we did have the first vaccines appearing on the market. There is still war going on, that's true, and there are battles that we won, but there are still many more to go because, as you know, the virus circulating still is pandemic all around the world, and there are many cases and many people to be immunized.
Well, we've managed to achieve the unachievable, according to so many people, but the simple things, like the lack of information on the various vaccines in many countries, why can't we solve that sort of thing?
It's additional challenge. It's a new product. It's scientific information. First, as a new product, it's always hard to have complete information what, when, how, and what can be related to. And on the other side, it's technical scientific information which is not easily transformed in the language. It's acceptable to everybody and is easy to follow. So it's one of the additional requirements that we have in this situation to make better acceptance in public of those new products and to have people motivated to get immunized.
Well, Dragan, isn't that something the World Health Organization should be doing and is responsible for?
And it's true. It's indeed the fact that we are doing. On the base of the scientific approach, there is a procedure for quick approval of any kind of medicament, new vaccines included. In the emergency setting, WHO is using our mechanism to collect as many as possible technical informations and get preliminary approval, emergency use listing of that product to be delivered all around the world to fight with the epidemic. In the case that it's not the final activity, it's continuous activity, meaning that that product must to be continuously monitored and controlled for the quality, for safety and efficacy, and that's how we are ensuring that all the countries and population is receiving the high quality product. It's relevant for the global level because not all the countries have capacity by their own national authorities to approve and test the products, and it's also kind of the mechanism that we already have in place through the UNICEF supply and with the COVAX, that every single country can rely on these results and have the technical information. And in regards giving the proper information, we are trying to follow up all this technical information with additional questions and answers and communication tools for the population, but also for healthcare workers, how they can communicate the quality and benefits of the vaccine to the population.
Well, being at the WHO, are specific vaccines more suitable for specific regions then?
No, all the vaccines which are approved are equally useful in any part of the world. In this moment, there is only one vaccine which received emergency use listing, but we hope till the mid of February this year to have 3 or 4 more. One of them is Moderna, the other is AstraZeneca. There is procedure initiated for the vaccines produced in China and in Russia. So we hope to have more available tools to fight with this pandemic very soon. And again, with the existing knowledge through the clinical studies and the preliminary use in some of the countries in the different parts of the world, all vaccines are showing sufficient efficacy in preventing hard manifestation of the severe cases of disease, deaths, and preventing the burden and the burnout of the health system, what are priority in this moment of the pandemic.
Tell me, what do you recommend for a faster global rollout of these COVID vaccines?
Well, we have many vaccines which are still in procedure of approval, so we are inviting all the manufacturers to continue with the procedures to apply and get permission for use of the vaccine. There is a critical need to increase capacities to produce physically more doses of vaccine because we need them, again, as soon as possible. Sooner is better. And it's also the issue that it should be equally distributed on the global level, meaning that through the COVAX system that we are participating, we would like to see that all people of the first level of defense and all people belonging to the first risk groups, meaning elderly people and people with background health conditions, receive vaccine as soon as possible. We are not, as mentioned, safe globally until every one of us is safe. And preventing of the cases is also preventing of the further mutation of the virus, which is normal for the virus. So wherever, whoever is get immunized, and as many of us get immunized, is better for all of us.
Dragan Jankovic from the WHO Europe, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's that part of the show when Derek Williams takes the floor to answer your questions on the coronavirus.
If you test positive, can you be vaccinated anyway? Or should you first recover, then get the vaccination?
This is the biggest vaccine campaign in history. In just a little over 2 months, about 140 million doses of vaccine have been injected worldwide, and around 5 million more are now going into arms every single day. So it's no wonder that questions like these are common. The answer to whether you should be vaccinated anyway if you test positive for the disease is actually simple, but the explanation is slightly complicated. The first thing to understand is that if you already have COVID-19, then it's too late for a vaccine to fix things. It takes at least 10 days after a first dose for your body to start ramping up an effective immune response to SARS-CoV-2. So getting a vaccine right after testing positive for the disease won't help you. The general recommendation is that you should wait to recover before even thinking about vaccination, since aside from the dangers that getting vaccinated while you're still sick might pose to your own health, it could also expose others. Everything I've read indicates that if you've completed the recommended isolation period and are symptom-free, then it's okay to go ahead with vaccination. Although the CDC also recommends that patients who are treated with monoclonal antibodies or with convalescent plasma, that they should wait at least 90 days before getting a shot. In general, the experts say the chances that you'll contract COVID-19 again within that period are very slim anyway, as naturally acquired immunity caused by the infection seems to remain strong in practically everyone for at least that long.
Derek Williams there, and keep sending in your questions to our YouTube channel. I'm Ben Fazulin. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you again very soon here on DW. Bye-bye.